Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
It's really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and
Safe
sound.
and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show on Hamilton Radio. Guys, everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass, guys, because 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. But 32 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this, guys. You know, we've all had the roughest few years of our lives all over the world, not just here. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't make it. I'm a nutritional health coach, and I'm also a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. Guys, everybody out there needs to know someone's listening, okay? And if you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, go to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, BAM. It's everywhere. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. My pages are there. You could get the book from there. And guys, subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel, because we've got some really cool shows coming up. We've got some really cool shows on there, and a lot of great things are happening. And there is something incredible that's going to be happening very soon, okay? Can't disclose it at this moment, but very soon, off the charts. So having said that, I have an incredible show tonight with these incredible people, okay? I just love these guys. I actually approached them. Their name, well, their group name is J.A.M. Yep, Ruben, put the name on the board. So their group name is J.A.M. Why don't you do the proper introduction to all of you, please?
Okay. I'm Jaynie, and this is Anthony to my left, and Mark to my right. Anthony is our guitarist, and Mark is the drummer, and I sing.
So tell everyone how you got the name.
Oh, okay. So, fast forward, Anthony and I had bumped into each other, and we decided we were going to do a duo, actually. And as we started rehearsing, Anthony said, "Hey, I know a drummer." And I said, "Oh, wait, he didn't know that Mark was a drummer."
Oh, okay.
I said, "Well, we're going to bring a drummer in. We got to ask Mark." So I asked Mark if he was interested, and he said, "Yeah, let's give it a shot." We had one rehearsal, and the two of them clicked like they had been playing together for 40 years. It was so cool to watch. I had chills. We said, yeah, the chemistry's good. We started rehearsing. I started putting names on the table, and I just said, wait a minute. Jaynie, Anthony, Mark, we're jamming.
That's cool.
That's it.
I love that. So did you have to convince these two guys?
Well, no, actually, because I came up with a couple of we live in Silver Ridge. He's west, we're east. So I had said, how about the Silver Ridges? And Mark was like, that sounds like a Kentucky song band. So I was getting frustrated. So I was just writing, that's how I just wrote our names. I wrote out our names, and it just happened to go in that order, and I saw it. And I said, well, hey, that's it, jam.
I love it. It works. It works. So, all right. I'm going to ask you guys each a question, because I love asking my entertainer friends the same question, because it means something to me and my listeners, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with you, okay, Jaynie? We'll start with you. Ladies first. Growing up, who was one of the biggest musical influences on your life? And who have you met that you always wanted to in the industry, and who haven't you gotten to meet that you would have loved to have met?
Okay. Well, growing up, it's like I'm all over the place. Of course, every little girl, Julie Andrews. I had the Sound of Music album. And so I loved listening to her. And then as I grew up, Karen Carpenter, Olivia Newton-John, Anne Murray, and Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
But then Springsteen hit the town, right? And his early music, my brother used to go to Long Branch where he was playing in the bars before anybody knew who he was. And he's older than me, my brother, and he brought home this album, Greetings from Asbury Park, and he said, hey, your name's in there. Crazy Jaynie and her Mission Men.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I never heard a song with my name in it. So I started listening, and I was way back then. I would think I was in 7th grade, and his lyrics were so colorful, and I just really, more than the music, I liked his lyrics. And I've been writing poems since I can remember. I always like to do that. So that inspired me. And then later on in life, just recently, of the last 5 years, there's a woman named Christine Amory. Unbelievable. She has a voice like an angel. You can't tell the difference between a flute and her voice. She's married to David Lanz, who is a Grammy-nominated pianist. His Grammy nomination was for Christopher's Dream. They invited me out for a musician's workshop in Cyprus. And I wasn't connected to anybody at the time. I lived with my dad. I thought, what the heck, right? I'm going to go.
Heck yeah.
And so I took the chance, and I didn't tell my dad because I was afraid he would worry about me. And so I waited till like the night before. I said, I'll be gone for a couple of days. As I'm going upstairs to bed, he goes, where are you going? I said, Cyprus. And he goes, Florida? I said, no, the country. Good night. And that was that. But they were great. They were so sweet and humble and kind, and I couldn't believe I was being accompanied by David Lanz.
Okay.
And Christine Amory, this award-winning vocalist, and they helped me so much writing and my vocals. And I'm still in touch with them. They're really great people.
So hook me up, girlfriend. So who haven't you met that you always wish you could have?
I don't know. I've been lucky. I got an opportunity to meet Springsteen, and
Okay.
I would say Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
I would definitely say Barbra Streisand.
Okay. So we'll let you go next.
Okay, my biggest influence was definitely my dad, because he was a musician. He taught me how to play the drums. And, you know, I just remember when I was 4 years old seeing him behind the kit, and I was just like, wow, I want to do that. And he taught me how to play. I went into the school band, and that was a good experience, learning how to read music and stuff like that, and learning all the terms. And then after that, I joined a rock band. Well, I think I was 12 years old, and I think that was my first paying gig. It was like $12, you know. And
That's great.
I know. Well, when you're 12 years old, you're
Right.
like, wow.
That's great.
But and I just started. I started playing in bands and stuff like that, and I wanted to be the so-called rock star. Of course, you know, we all dream of that, I guess. And I guess, you know, through the years, I played in club bands and stuff like that. And also, I liked, as far as influences were, like Led Zeppelin was an influence, especially John Bonham.
Okay.
He was a great drummer. He had a great foot. Also, I liked Genesis.
Oh, love Genesis, honey. Follow you, follow me, baby.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. And I kind of leaned towards jazz too, because my dad played jazz. So I kind of liked jazz. I liked Frank Sinatra, you know. So I kind of like, you know, like tested the waters in all types of music and stuff like that. And I love all the genres. I like rock. I like jazz. You know, pop. You know, modern music as far as the listening, the meditation music.
I love that.
I love that. I love writing it on the synthesizer. And as I got older and I started playing in bands, I started learning other instruments. So I learned the keyboard, and then I learned the guitar, and because I wanted to know what these guys were doing, and plus they were getting all the girls too, because the drummer never got the girls. He was always in the back.
So wait, the drummer never got, I didn't know
Well, I
that.
wouldn't say never,
But really,
but-
Hello.
but it's usually the guitar player or the lead singer. But
Got
anyway.
me, babe.
But it was a great way to make a living, Of course, I had to have a full-time job, but I raised a family and everything. It was a great fallback, making good money. Back in the day, like the '80s, were the great playing out, right, Anthony?
Oh,
They
yeah.
were the
Oh, yes.
best. Because that's when clubs were hiring bands.
Yep.
We and everybody had a good time too. I mean, and the '90s, and I don't know, it kind of shuffled down on the year 2000. Everything started getting electronic, DJs and stuff
Changed.
like that. Yeah, it changed. Yes.
We had in our town, Hamilton Township, Mercer County, we had 3 clubs, nightclubs, right in our town. So we would go to one on Wednesday nights, one on Sunday nights, one on Friday nights. I mean, it was amazing in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Great.
So yeah.
As far as who I'd like to meet, I would say I'd like to meet Jimmy Page, even though.
Oh, okay.
Because he was such a wizard and a great producer. I mean, what he did back in the late '60s to all through the '70s with Led Zeppelin was very amazing. I just like to sit and chat, and talk about the recording sessions and stuff like that. And also Paul McCartney.
I think everyone would probably say also Paul McCartney,
McCartney.
right?
I mean, he is such a genius.
Yeah.
And I would just like to, hear the stories of what they did. I saw that documentary they had on, I think it was Discovery Channel, and it was them making the last album.
Oh, okay.
And it was really informational. I mean, they got along perfect. All those rumors they were saying, they didn't get along and stuff like that. They were just like having fun, working,
cool
but
watching
having
that,
fun.
yeah.
So
Hanging out on the floor.
yeah, I guess that's about it, really.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I love hearing this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's hear yours.
Well, for me, my grandfather was a big influence on me because he played the guitar, and he's the one that got me started in it. And then I only knew my grandfather for a few years, and he passed away. But one of my biggest idols is Chet Atkins
You're kidding
and
me.
Dwayne Eddy.
For real?
Yeah, they inspired me to play. How I learned how to play, I used to sit in all the old TV shows, Peter Gunn, I'd play the riff to it, Bonanza,
Well,
different
Bonanza.
jingles like that. And by time I was 9 or 10 years old, I was picking out Mr. Sandman, because I learned it from Chet Atkins. I learned how to play the whole song, harmonize the strings. And then I joined a band. I was probably about 12 or 13. And we used to play the auditorium, and we thought we were playing a big concert,
That's
And
so
it just
cool.
went from there. I played in bands through the years.
Is there anyone that you wish you could have met?
Chet Atkins,
Okay,
for sure.
for sure. All
Yep.
right, very cool.
Fantastic guitarist.
Very cool.
Yep. And the Beatles, like you said, I would have liked to have met George Harrison because he was an accomplished guitarist. For those days, he played stuff that he was way ahead of his time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Fantastic guitarist.
Amazing time in music, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, your specialty is 70s, 80s, and 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who doesn't love that,
Oh, we have so much fun.
right?
We just did a show where it was an hour show. It was nonstop dancing from the beginning to the end. And we finally finished, and all of a sudden we hear, encore, encore.
We
I said,
had
"Are you
two of them."
kidding me? So we did a song. I think we did Cruisin', right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we finished that, and I hear,
And Under the Boardwalk.
well, they said one more song, one more. So then we did
Well, actually, they wanted another one after that.
Yeah.
You had to put your foot down, right? You had to put your foot
Gotta
down,
end
okay?
it somewhere.
But it was so cool. It really was. And from where we're standing, we're on the stage looking out and seeing everybody smiling
Yeah.
and dancing and just having so much fun
Yeah.
that's so rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, we're bringing joy to these people.
right.
And it's a 55 and up community, so it was from
For
7
old
to 8.
people.
Oh,
I live in one. Go ahead.
We do too. It was our community. But what was nice is they had that hour to go out, let their hair down, and it was cold that night, right, guys?
Yeah,
We didn't
yeah.
compete.
Yeah.
We had
It was
100
raining.
people there, and it was surprising because it was cold, it was raining, and there were people who prepaid and didn't come. But we still had a nice showing given the weather, and they had cake and coffee afterwards, and we got to walk around, thank people for coming, try to get a little personal with everybody, and people. Anthony, I think you said people were coming up to you.
oh yeah,
talking
when
to
I
you.
was outside.
So nice.
They loved the band. They told me they had such a great time.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling because then you know you did your job.
Well, I'm
know
going to
what I
be
mean?
honest with you. I approached you. Okay, I heard you guys singing, and I said, "Oh wow!" And I went up to you and said, "Hi."
Yeah, that was cool. That was so, and I'm like, who is she? I didn't know. I was like, how were you? I didn't know how you were connected
Yeah,
to Ken.
sure.
And I mean, we just clicked right away.
Yes.
And then when we started talking on the phone, we had so much in common.
Okay, tell everybody what we have in common.
Okay. Well, she writes. She's a poet.
Yeah.
I write poems. I'm a hairstylist.
Yes,
And
artist.
I'm an artist, and
Artist.
Jerry's also an artist, and then we are parents. We
Yes.
went through similar experiences with Alzheimer's, which I am trying to work on something with Ken Ryan because I really, really want to do a fundraiser for that. That's something that I've always wanted to do. And either an awareness or something for research. So that's
Okay.
in my bucket list.
And we'll talk after the show and all, but guys, if anyone thinks anyone is struggling or you have an inclination something's wrong with a parent or a loved one, reach out to me because I studied everything I could possibly get my hands on about it. So I have some information for you. So please reach out to me. So why don't we play one of your songs now?
Should I set it up?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
We're going to play it first, then you're going to talk about
Okay.
it. Okay? It's better that way.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about how you guys met. I want to hear everything, okay? But let's hit them. They've been listening to us talk, so let's hit
Okay.
them with one of your great songs. All right, Ruben.
This is Fallen.
You are my life, a shelter from the rain. You hold me tight and take away the pain. You are the light that helps me find my way. You are the words when there's nothing left to say. Never have I fallen, never have I loved with anybody but you. Never have I fallen, never have I loved with anybody but you. I only have this feeling whenever I'm with you. I wonder if you feel my soul too. I wonder if you're going or if you're here to stay. I wonder if you
Absolutely beautiful.
you.
Tell us about this song.
Well, Mark and I met, well, actually, when we met was online at a dating app.
Okay.
And I put a love for music and a good sense of humor, put you on top of my list. And he wrote to me and said, I love music. In fact, I'm a musician. So I gave him my number, and we met. And a couple weeks later, I think about 3 weeks later, I go over to his house, and he says, I have these words I want you to look at. Maybe you could do something with it. So I looked, I said, these are great words. So I arranged it in a certain order. And then we started fooling around with it. And one of the things Mark does, he's done it with Anthony too. He plays little tricks on us when when we're trying to record stuff. He'll say, this is just a rehearsal. This is just a practice. Just sing it, find where you are with it.
It's not. I lied. But sometimes
You
that's how
recorded
you
it.
get a great performance, because the artist doesn't feel inhibited. When they hit record, you get that little tension. And when they know they're not, they're more relaxed sometimes, and usually you get a better performance.
So wait. So what you're telling me is, because I'm not a musician or I'm not a singer, he'll press record and you didn't know it.
Yeah, he's telling me it's a practice.
Right.
So that particular recording,
Is a practice.
I thought it was a practice. So there was a point where I wasn't sure if I was going to hit the right note. So I went, fill my life. And he was recording it. And so when we were done, he goes, that's a take. I said, what do you mean that's a take? You said that that was rehearsal, we're practicing. He said, no, that was good. I said, but I went, because no, we're leaving it. It's not good. So that I didn't know that we were actually
Okay.
And
gonna.
a funny part about that song, and the song where it goes, da, da, Jaynie said, is there a way you can play a couple notes in between the words so I could stay more in time?
Oh, that bum, bum,
Yeah,
bum,
yeah. So I was like, I'll figure something out. And I came up with that line. I didn't really want to put it in there. And then when we listened back to it, I was like, hey, that's pretty good. So right away, we had a good rapport,
Yeah, it's funny how things just fall into place like that. Sometimes we're just, kicking things around. Every single night, he's at the keyboard, he's doing something, and I'll hear it, and I'll go, well, wait, maybe we can do it this way, or maybe we could do it that way. And he's really good in that regard. He respects my ear, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But in that particular song, I was like, you lied to me.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And then
but that was a
guess-
good lie.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll move ahead a couple of months. Yeah, because we met in September, so that February, I wrote a song to him called I Choose You. And it was really a poem that I put in a Valentine's Day card. So I gave it to him, and he reads it, and he goes, this would make a good song.
And we have that song, obviously, right?
Yeah, I Choose You, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's play it.
I choose you unconditionally. Look into my eyes. It's my love you'll see. I choose you to be my best friend. My soulmate, my lover, my life. Until the end, I promise to take care of you, to love and inspire all the years through. I choose you choose you. I choose you. I choose you. I choose you to walk along with me, to laugh, to cry, and make music with me. I choose you in all your ways. I choose you for the rest of my days. I promise to take care of you, to love and inspire all the years through. I choose you. 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 I promise to take care of you, to love and inspire all the years through. I choose you. I choose you. I choose you. I choose you. I choose
Yay!
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
Jaynie on vocals. Let's give her a hand.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And for our next number,
That was cool.
I think our audience liked us.
Okay. That was so cool. Okay. So what do you think about that song?
I think it's a great song.
Okay.
Now,
That's it?
Well, Anthony came in
Yeah.
on another song, but
Yeah,
the next song is Journey, though.
Yeah. Anthony came in. These songs were written before we met Anthony.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
towards
What
the
we're
end of
doing
our
is
repertoire.
we are doing these songs in our
In an
show.
order. Yeah.
We're going to start, putting them out there. So, and a couple of these songs, he added a lot of good ideas because he's a great guitar player. Me and him have such a chemistry when we're writing.
They're amazing.
You
Wait
know,
till
he
you get
knows
the
We're gonna
song.
if
start
I tell him
writing
to
songs
play
together.
something, and he just does it, and he's a natural.
Yeah.
It's just-
So, the next song coming up is Journey.
yeah.
Journey. We were together a couple of years, and I was looking for a house. Actually, while I was riding around looking for a house, these ideas came to my mind. So, I ended up writing again. I write these poems and I hand them off to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's another one. We can put music to that." And then Was it Journey? Yes, Journey.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the next one. Go ahead.
Journey together through life.
We're giving you a mini concert here, guys. Okay, Ruben.
Now you know our secrets.
Would you like to be on a journey with me? I don't know where, but I'm going there, to a place far away. I'd like to go there someday. If you would stay there with me, we'd have fun in the sun, you and me in the sea, hiking here, biking there, new adventures everywhere. Would you like to be on this journey with me? Would you like to be on this journey with me? Out a nice space with a fireplace, snow falling down in a nice quiet town. We'd be there together in all sorts of weather. So happy I'd be in your arms forever. We'd have fun in the sun, you and me in the sea, hiking here, biking there, new adventures everywhere. Would you like to be on this journey with me? Would you like to be on this journey with me? Would you like to be on this journey with me? Would you like to be on this journey with me? Would you like to be on this journey This is my journey. In life we have one. Hold my hand, come with me before it's all done.
That was like a private recording.
I love it.
Yeah, but you tricked me on that one too.
Yeah, I did on this one too. Yeah.
Because when it goes ba-da-da, I said, I don't have any words for that. He goes, just fill it with something, ba-da-da. Let's just practice. And there he recorded it.
Well, the one thing I like to mention is like Jaynie said. Oh,
Technical difficulty.
that's okay.
Sorry,
Jaynie,
sorry about
Jaynie-
that. There was
Jaynie
still extra time
likes
on the
the
disc.
kind of lighter side of rock, You know, where me and Anthony kind of we like the hard edge. That's why, you know, like Anthony's guitar sound, I like it because it kind of blends together with our, you know, me and Jaynie perfectly. You know, it adds that little extra, you know, oomph.
Works.
So, all right, so I have some musical questions for you guys then, all right? Let's start with you. So, the guitar.
Okay.
All right. So, when you learned how to play it or you wanted to learn how to play it, I mean, just go through the years in your mind with this question. To me, when I look at a guitar, I was married to a drummer, and I still don't get it. But I don't get the guitar even more because I see nothing but, and I'm saying, how do they know to pull the string real quick, that one, and they're doing all this crazy stuff, and you're looking out there.
And Anthony sings too.
Okay, yes, but talk about the guitar first.
Okay.
How do you know? How were you taught? What do they say to you? I mean, did you take lessons?
I took lessons for a couple of years.
And what do they say to you? Okay, explain.
Well, they teach you to scale. You learn where the notes, and notes are chords. But it's also, I believe, it's either in you to play or it's not.
See, okay.
Yes.
I
You know what
love
I mean?
you saying that because I believe that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
'Cause
to
I've
me,
taught
it doesn't
guitar.
make sense. Go ahead.
And I've had kids come in, dude, I want to learn how to play like Van Halen. And I said, all right, well, you learn what I teach you, then you go to music conservatory, then maybe you'll play like Van Halen, because that's how he's trained. But it's when I play, it's something I feel.
See?
It's inside my heart. I play from my heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's basically how you play the guitar. Once you have the basics, you take it from there.
I am so glad I asked you that because no one's been able to answer me that way.
Every guitar
Okay.
player probably give you different.
Yeah, but nobody
version.
has said what you've said because that's what I'm looking for because that's the answer.
That's me. That's how I
Okay?
feel, how I play.
When I watch guitarists, like good ones, you know what I mean? We all know who they are, right? I'm saying there's something more. Something more to this than, okay, this string, that string. I'm like, this is impossible. There's something more to it.
Well, there's times where I was just out in the parking lot. I was reading some of my lyrics to Anthony, and he's going, I hear it. I hear the music.
I hear it. I feel it.
And I'm just reading words to him.
Okay?
It's something that comes over time. I mean,
Yeah.
and the most important thing my father always taught me was practice. Even though we don't like to practice because it's too repetitive, we want to go out there, like Anthony says, the kids want to
Right.
play like Van Halen. And, you know, there's no shortcuts.
No.
You know, you have to go through the basics first and learn everything and practice it. And like you said, you have to have the passion.
Right.
If you don't have that passion, you're not going to do it.
I've always had that fire burn
Yes.
to play the guitar. I've always been fascinated ever since I can remember. I mean, child, 4 or 5 years old. I was actually been playing since I was about 6. My mother used to have her friends come over, and I was a ham. I'd come out and entertain them. And they couldn't believe how this little kid could play like that.
All musicians are
That's
hams.
what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
loved it.
about.
I knew I was going to be
Right.
a musician because I love entertaining people. The more people you put in front of me, the more inspired I am. I love it.
Silly story. So, I'm a poet and I know it, right? Okay, all this stuff. I'm an artist. I was young. I was probably in 8th grade. 7th grade. I was in 7th grade because we just moved to New Jersey from Long Island City, New York. And my language arts teacher told us we had to write a poem or a short story. And we only had one night to do it. But she told us what she expected. I was up all night, and I'll never forget this. My mom had this orange garbage bag from a store, and I took it and I had it on the floor in my bedroom. I had a pink carpet, and I have a photo of this. One day I'm going to show you this photo. And I said, hours, and I just kept crumbling up, throwing it in the bag. I'm like, I can't do what she wants. I get woken up 5, 6 in the morning. I hear something crumbling in the bag. And I open my eyes, it was my kitten. All of a sudden, I go there, and my kitten's head just popped out like, you caught me. And she's in this bag. I have a photo of it. All of a sudden, the words came to me. I saw a bag just lying there with papers all inside. I knew it would be a real swell place for me to sit and hide. You know? And then I looked up and got all
what it
flustered and saw some feet and heard you're busted.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I did it in 2 seconds. And I said,
Right.
she don't like it, too bad. I got an A+ on it.
Yeah.
Because it was natural.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Right.
that answer, finally, you know what? I needed to hear that because I always knew that had to be it, and nobody could tell me that. So thank
It's
you
a
for
passion.
that. It's a
You have to
passion.
feel it. My whole family, my brothers and my sisters, they play a little guitar, but they don't have that
No.
passion. That's why they never became a
Right.
musician. You know, it's either in you to play or it's not. That's what I truly believe.
So now let's finish with you about singing. So tell us a little bit about you with your singing then.
Well, when I first joined bands, I realized I can't just play, I have to sing too. So I learned how to sing. My mother was a fantastic singer. She had a great voice. I guess I kind of learned from her a little bit. And like I said, when I got into bands, I started off harmonizing, you know, because that's what you do in the band. You got to learn how to sing. And I just took her from there and just
Yeah, but some
Kept singing.
bands have guitarists that don't sing.
absolutely.
So what made you say, I have to sing?
Because I wanted to.
Because you wanted to. But I love that. See what I mean?
I
That was in
wanted
you as
to.
well.
And he's great.
You had that passion in you
And
as
I had to
well.
learn how to play and sing at the same time.
That's so cool.
You know what I mean?
Thanks for answering me the right way, the creative way. That made
I'm
sense to
glad I
me,
could.
okay? So now let's talk about you with your drumming. I know you do other things, right?
Yes. Yeah,
But
well, the drumming is my main instrument.
Yes.
That's what I love. I mean, I love the keyboards and everything like that, but there's something about drumming that just the physical feeling you get. I'll tell you, after a hard day's a frustrating day or something like that, and you sit behind the set and play, that is so relaxing, and it gets all your frustrations out. It's better to beat the hell out of the drums than your boss at work, you know. So,
He's right, though.
yes.
but I love to feel the beat too. When you Anthony knows what I'm talking about. When you hear a groove and it's like right in the pocket.
Just inspired you.
It just inspires you and it just makes you want to play even more.
All
you
right,
know.
so silly question here. So when you're playing, do you also think about who you want to beat up and hit them? With
Oh, no.
Okay, because that could help, right? That could help,
No.
right?
No, you get so
He's
wrapped
not
up
going
in
to
the
answer
moment.
that honestly with me sitting right here.
Whack.
No, no, it's really, it's hard. Sometimes you think about the craziest things. Like when I'm playing, you're really concentrating on a song because you don't want to mess up, especially when you're performing live. So, you know, all sorts of stuff goes through your head. Is this doing right? Am I in time? I can't hear this. And you have to adjust and adapt. That's a big thing when you're playing live and you're playing different venues. You have to adapt because every venue sounds different.
That's the hardest
And that's the hardest part. And we've been together since April, and you know we're just starting to fine tune our sound now. You know, in the beginning it was a little rough. I had to buy better mixing boards and stuff like that, and then you know.
Plus, we're starting to get used to each other as
Yes,
artists.
as a band, yeah.
Like Anthony
Yeah,
and
it's
I
a
are.
chemistry.
And it's so cool because Anthony and Mark have this really great chemistry with the music. And then Anthony and we're in sync singing because he harmonizes with me. And there's times where he'll just jump right in and it's there. It's there.
It's beautiful.
So it's working, and we're really.
And we have a lot of fun.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yeah. That's the thing.
And our rehearsals go by. I mean, we're like 3.5 hours, but they go by so quick. We
Go
have
through
dinner
3,
together.
4, 5 songs.
Interesting.
And you know, you don't have a good rehearsal all the time, but we rarely have a bad rehearsal.
Yeah.
I think I
Hardly
can count only 2 that since we've been
Well,
together.
in the beginning it was rough, but then all of a sudden it was like one night we clicked. We were tight. Remember that night? We were like,
Well,
whoa,
the-
something just happened here. It was so
The real secret too is that we practice on our own too. Like
Exactly.
Anthony will practice his parts at his house. I'll sit with the headphones on with the drumming. Jaynie will go and she'll practice her vocals, and I think that helps too. It gets you tighter.
by
You
the
know your
time we get
part better
together-
because So when we get by the time the end of the week, we usually play on a Friday. Everything's tight, and we're just like, wow.
We don't have to
We don't have to
work as hard.
rehearse.
Everybody knows their part.
Everybody knew their
worked out.
part.
Very cool. So now what about you with your singing? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So, all right, as a poet, right? You know, I'll pick a topic. I'll have to write a poem for someone or something, whatever. Done. Once in a while, I'll be driving in the car and something will pop into my head and I pull over and I have to write it down.
Yep.
But that's not the norm for me. Okay? How is it for you?
Well, I'm in the car all the time. I mean, I'm a home health aide, I'm a hairdresser, I'm
Right.
working 7 days a week. Most of
Right.
my time's in the car. And that is what happens. And I do have, like, my little book here.
Yep.
And this has been pulled out, pages ripped out. But I've written on things like
Yes.
this. And a lot of the time, I fiddle with the mandolin. And I get an idea. And when I'm writing my songs, I pretty much write it as a poem, but then I say it out loud because no one talks monotone.
Okay.
We don't talk like this. So I would find a chord that matched the feeling that I had in the words. And
Okay.
as a poet, I'm sure you know
Okay.
what I'm talking about. When
Yes.
you're reciting something
Yes.
that you wrote, there's a rhythm to it.
Yes.
There's feeling to it. So then I ended up showing Mark some of these things, and I had my chords written out, and then he was like, oh, okay, we can do something with that. And he's always very flexible. So, pretty much that's as far as writing and singing goes, as far as where my ideas come from. But Mark is really amazing to me. He just sits down, and every single night there's something new. And
Well, I could tell just looking at him now. He's in deep thought about,
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about the next song.
he is. I know he is.
you know.
He
No,
wants
but
why
I
don't you
love
talk
I
about
love
the next
playing
song?
all the time. I mean, we did after we do a gig. Sometimes I'll be in there and play after the gig, and I don't know,
That's
I
true.
can't stop. You know, it's kind of
true.
like an addiction, but a good one. You know, because you get a lot of benefits off of it. And music to me is a healing power. You know, because I had
Yes.
I had a real tough life, and I think it really has saved my life in more ways than one.
I want to, wait, I have to say this, I'm sorry, I have to. I want to thank you, because music has saved so many lives the last few years. So I want to thank all of you for what you're doing. I had people message me from hospital beds saying thank you for the lives, and I had people messaging me that were bedridden, people that haven't been able to leave their house in 2 years. So I want to thank all the musicians out there because what you guys have done through the last few years have saved lives. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Why don't you tell her about how Walk Away, what inspired you with that?
Walk Away was no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Everything is. Every little thing. We just did Journey.
Okay.
Every little thing
But
is
just
next.
give her a real quick with the Walk Away.
Walk Away was inspired by me because actually it was written like 5 years ago, but it fits today, more today than it did 5 years ago. And, you know, we were dealing with climate change, and New Jersey never had hurricanes like it does
Right.
now, you know. And, you know, all the destruction, the violence, the crime, and, you know, and I was like, how can we just let this happen? How can we just walk away? And, you know, when you're writing a song, it's not, you don't sit down and say, I'm going to write a song. You just get an idea in your head. And when I heard Walk Away, I was like, hey, that's a great chorus. And then I just built around it. And I also made I made a
music
video,
yeah.
and because I wanted the people to get the message. Sometimes when they just hear music, audio, you know, when you have the video, I had certain scenes and stuff like that, you know, that's like a real personal thing to me, you know. When you're writing a song, any song that you write, you know, you're feeling it from inside, the emotion. And whether it's a love song or a political song, you know, there's something inside you that wants to say something to somebody. And I think music is a beautiful way to do that. And that's, you know, I couldn't stop myself from, you know, writing it and writing and writing and writing. And then I was like, I showed it to Jaynie, and Jaynie goes, that's awesome. And I said, well, why don't you sing a couple lines on it? Because there was a couple parts. I don't have a good voice. I can't sing really.
has
I
a
wish I could
unique
sing.
He actually does, though. He really does.
We want him to sing. He's
But Jaynie
He really does.
sang the two parts, and they fit so beautiful. So
the-
You mentioned something about like your passion, like when you're singing and what's coming out of you. We're going to be, Ruben, one of the owners and producers of Hamilton Radio, is now going to be putting books to audio. And Simon & Schuster published my book, and I didn't want to do my book in audio because they would have to use someone on their end to read my book in audio. And I wasn't okay with that. So we're doing it now. My book is almost completed. Yes, and it's my voice because it's my passion. So I get that, guys. I mean, that's
why I
so
wanted him to talk
important.
about how he
Yeah.
came up with Walkaway, because
Yeah.
it was something that was very near and dear to
You
him.
know?
So,
yes.
It's
so
beautiful.
are we doing? You
So
said
what's
we're
the
doing-
next song?
That would be Every Little Thing, right?
Do you want to talk about it?
Walkaway? That
Oh,
is
Walk
next?
Away is next?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
thought.
Oh, great. So we just talked about it.
At least somebody knows what's going on.
The world is falling down. Crime and violence running rampant through our streets. We can see all the damage around us, but we don't even make a fuss. Is it time to walk away? Are safer times gone? Is the government ever gonna stop lying? Is the rich man always gonna stomp on the poor man's back? It's always been the way. How can we just walk away when safer times have gone? How can we just walk away? Madness all around. How can we just walk away when safer times have gone? How can we just walk away? A world grown uneasy. It's time to make a change. See all the damage around us, all the broken promises, and we don't make a fuss.
Can we make a change? Can we do it now? Can we make a change? Can you show me how?
Is it time to walk away? Our safer times gone. How can we just walk away? Safer times are gone. How can we just walk away? Madness all around. Madness all around. Madness all around.
So, Mark, I know you talked about this song, but we need to talk a little bit more about it. First of all, it's amazing,
Thanks.
touching, like incredible to me. I'm going to end up sharing something I didn't think I would share on the show yet, but I'm going to. So, tell everyone again what inspired this.
Well, when I grew up in the 70s mostly, and the 80s, I guess the 80s, they're 60s and 70s, and I felt safe.
Okay.
I felt really safe. You could walk down the street, you didn't have all this stuff going on.
Leave your bike in the front yard.
Yeah, leave your bike in the front, you leave your front door open and stuff like that. And I think over the years, it's gotten worse and worse and worse, and you can't be safe. I mean, you see the mass shootings and everything like that. You can't even go to a concert and have a good time. It's really a shame, and we can't walk away. That's what we're doing. We're walking away and we're letting this stuff happen. How much more violence, and how many more countries need to fight over resources and stuff like that? We're supposed to be on this we're on this planet, and we're supposed to work together. We're supposed to love one another and be together. I hate to sound like the Beatles there, but it's true. And that's what inspired me on that song. I'm trying to tell people, we've got to do something about this. I'm not saying start a revolution or anything, but I mean, we got to take steps and and try to solve some of these problems that we have in the world.
So
Tell them where they can see the video.
tell them where they can see the video.
If you want to see the video, it's on YouTube. Just hit M Ogden 48. And it should pop up. I have a few videos there, so you can watch it right there. And it's got Jaynie's picture on there, so you'll know you have the right song.
So I want to share something with you guys. I'm not going to make this a political show, but you just touched me in a way you'll never understand. So I'm going to share something with you. I've done some protests in Trenton, New Jersey with my daughter, and actually Ruben was our bodyguard with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I have photos with him and I for our constitutional rights. Okay? So we won twice. Both times we went down. It was pre-COVID, and we won. So they're trying to mess with that as well, and okay, whatever. Well, someone is going to be coming live into my studio in March, and I'm going to be bringing him hopefully to one of Ken Ryan's things and get him up to the mic. And Ruben and I are flying out the end of this month, and we're going to be going to Yuma, to the border in Arizona, with Border Patrol, the Sheriff Department, and with Anthony Hudson, who's going to be running for the President of the United States, bipartisan.
Wow.
Okay? So this is huge, and all he wants, it's different than independent. All he wants is to bring everybody together. Wow. And that's why I'm on board with it. Okay? I wouldn't be on board with it if it was one or the other, and not even independent, because it's a little different. Bipartisan, I'm on board. So this is going to be huge. And that song just flooded me with emotions based on what's happening and what I've done in Trenton, New Jersey. And, so thank you for that, because
No
if
problem.
everyone
That's
had
what the
that
song's
thought.
for.
Right.
It's to help you, to bring people aware, make them aware. And that's the greatest gift a musician can ever have, is somebody that understands a song and really appreciates it.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm going to read a poem now. I usually wait, but I'm not going to wait, okay? So I'm going to read this poem because I want everyone out there to know. The poem I won't read, I wrote a poem in here, I Hear You, Now Hear Me, and that's in here. But this poem I like to read when I do my entertainers, because everybody out there has to know you've all got something to offer, okay? God didn't just give us something because we're special. God gave everyone something, but you have to find out what that gift is that you have and utilize it, use it, okay? Because we all have one. So this poem is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, but not just for the money, to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, J.A.M, your name will live forever, forever and a day. Go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on, so make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And you know what, guys?
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Very good.
That was
That's-
really beautiful.
Thank you. That's
Anthony,
what
did you hear
guys-
music to that?
Yeah.
That's what you guys are doing. You're making people smile, because when I met you guys and I heard you guys sing, I smiled, and I had to
Thank
come
you.
up to you.
Thank you.
So, you are awesome, okay? You sit there shy, in such deep thought, okay? And you're brilliant, okay? You're brilliant with what you're doing, okay? And you guys are incredible, okay? So you all jam together perfectly, okay, guys?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it
So-
makes it work.
Makes it work. So do you want to talk about the
Oh,
next song?
well, actually, Anthony's going to talk about everything. Wait, but really quick before we do go to everything, this is a little Valentine's Day gift from J.A.M that I hand painted for you. And I have one for Ruben.
Ruben, come out. You hand painted this.
Well, it's just, yeah,
Yes.
I had to do it by hand.
This is awesome.
You got little Valentine
Oh my
Valentine
gosh.
candy.
Wait, Ruben, wait. Put this, show everybody. Go closer. Go closer. Show it. He's a brat.
There we go.
That's beautiful. Talk to them.
But wait, there's more.
This is beautiful.
That's a little coaster underneath that says J.A.M. You got the same.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, J.A.M.
Did a nice job, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. What are you kidding me?
And if you spend $10.99, you get one for your lover too.
It's beautiful. Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you,
welcome.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you guys do.
that's so
For everything you
beautiful.
do. Thank you for everything you
Oh.
do. Da-dum-dum. Segue.
Come on. So, thank you. Beautiful gift. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
So now let's hear from
All
you.
right. With this next song, some Friday nights, I'll bring a pizza, and Jaynie will make sausage and peppers, and we'll put it on the pizza. We have dinner together, okay? And my wife, she played this song for me and said, "Can you do something for this? Put some kind of lead, something in it."
Well, because of the middle part.
Yeah.
Wait, who wrote it?
Well, I wrote
Well,
the words, and
Mark
Mark wrote
and
the
Jaynie wrote it.
music.
But it wasn't perfect to you.
Mark
No.
hated it.
Okay, Mark hated it. You thought it was worth it.
Yes.
And now that's where you
There's
come
one
in.
part in the song you hear when you play it, it just needed a fill. So Jaynie said to me, "Can you put something in there?" And when she played it for me, I heard it. I said, "Yeah, I could go dit, dit, dit." And I took it home, and I tried it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, what I was thinking. So I sat there and I said to myself, I didn't want to just do something, throw it in there. I wanted to play something tasteful that would fit the song.
Okay.
So I tried different things. I tried like 20 or 30 different things. And then I play a lead. Yeah, I like it, and we put it in the song. That's how that came about.
Okay, so wait, hold that thought. All right. So from someone who's not musically inclined, all I know is if something's good or not. If someone sounds good or not. That's it. I don't hear your mistakes. I don't hear none of that, okay? In my language, talk my language. So this piece here needed something musically, not with
Fill.
words, a fill
Right.
musically.
Right.
And she knew with a guitar it would probably work. You, on the other hand, hated it and didn't think something could
trash it.
fill it.
I didn't like that part of the song, you know, and I didn't think, you know, that's why I didn't like it, because it just, something was wrong with it. And from the very beginning I knew that. And then when we asked Anthony to do it, and this is what makes us work, the chemistry, you know, he had a great idea. I mean, it took him 20 or 30 tries to get his idea, but he did do it. And when he presented it to me, I was like, oh, that's great. Let's record it now, you know. And that's what we did, you know. And about how many takes do we do? We did quite a few takes
Couple of
because
hours worth.
yeah, you have
But
the
see,
idea,
now-
but you got to iron it out. You know?
Bear into mind, you'll hear it when you play it. This
And
little,
will we know?
yes.
Oh, you'll
this
know,
little
definitely.
part
When the guitar
has
comes
like
back.
flute and keyboard. So I had to play something. I didn't want to overpower what was there, so I had
Okay.
to kind of lay back and play something. You know?
But
So-
let me just explain something, though.
Okay.
It's a dance tune. And what Mark
Right.
didn't like was, I actually performed it at one of my friends' karaoke party. We put it on track, and I performed it, and everybody was dancing. Then the middle part came, and Mark had slowed it down. Then everybody stopped dancing and was kind of looking around like, oh, what do I
Okay.
do? And then it speeds up again. And when Mark saw that, it was it. He was done with the song,
Gotcha.
didn't want it anymore, trashed it, and hated it.
All right, so don't hit me with this. Don't let me know.
You'll know.
Don't let me know. I want to see if I know.
Okay.
All right? All right. Let's play it. Okay. I can't wait.
Every little thing you do makes my heart beat. Every little thing you do thrills me. Lying alone, waiting for the phone to ring. I hear your voice and my heart sings. Every little thing you do makes my heart
Beautiful, beautiful,
You
beautiful.
see what I was
Anthony
saying in
saved
that
the
one
song.
part?
Yes.
The way I played that, it keeps the beat going.
Yes.
So it doesn't
Right.
bog
Doesn't
down.
sink.
That was really
Say.
cool.
Thank you.
Wow, okay, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. All right, very cool.
And then you guys did an instrumental after that.
Yeah, I did something and I showed it to Anthony, and actually we were rehearsing, and I was like, "Hey," Jaynie was taking a break, and I was like, "What do you think of this?" And I played it for him. He just started fooling around. He's like, "Yeah, I like this," and we started jamming to it.
Jam.
So I was like, "Hey, this is pretty good." It's an instrumental, and instrumentals are really hard because without vocals, people, they lose their attention, to the song. But
Timing's different.
so you kind of try to keep it fresh and stuff like that. But it was pretty good with his guitar playing on top of what I do. It's just like it's great. That's the chemistry between us that all musicians look for. When you're in a band and stuff like that. And that's why I enjoy playing with Anthony and of course Jaynie too. But it's just like the instrumental thing is kind of like our kind of male bond thing. I guess I don't know, but I really enjoyed doing it and recording it. And it didn't take us long at all, actually.
Not
We
really.
got it
no.
done in no time at all.
A few takes.
Yeah, a
And
few
we
takes.
recorded it.
Yeah.
Don't give me numbers, but are you three all close in age?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
Anthony and I went to school to get grade school together,
We've known each other 50-some years.
which we 40 years went by before we bumped. Tell her how we bumped into each other.
I'll shorten it up a little. It was
Talk-
right
talk-
after the COVID thing, when it was unwinding, and my sister has a hair salon in Holiday City, and I went there to visit her, and I had nothing to do for the day. And Jaynie comes up. She just looked like an employee. She had the mask on, right? But I saw her eyes in her glasses, and I said, I know her from somewhere, right?
And he had
Couldn't
his
figure it
mask
out,
on.
and I had a mask on. When I took my mask off and she took her mask off, we looked at each other like, Anthony, Jaynie? And we started talking. That's how this came about, because I was playing in a couple bands, and during the COVID, all our gigs got canceled,
sure.
everything. And I said to her, I know you're singing, let's get together, do something, try a couple songs or whatever. And we did. And I had a drummer, okay? I didn't know about Mark. And I said, I could bring, drummer in and we could do something. She goes, well, let me ask Mark, because Mark played in bands and he hasn't played for a while.
Did you know of Mark at that time?
No.
Okay. Surprise.
Yeah. So she asked him, and he said, okay, I'll do it. So I went over to the house. First, Jaynie and I got together, and we did a couple songs. We sang, and it worked. Our voices blended together. So then we needed a drummer. So she asked Mark, and Mark said, yeah, I'll try it. And I went over one night, and Mark and I got together and just clicked. We did about, 40 songs
Yeah.
that
I
night?
just sat
One
back.
after
I
another.
wasn't even singing. I was just sitting
One
back
after
watching
another.
them. It was
And then we put it
incredible.
together, and that's how we got it, the band together. It just clicked.
We knew it.
Okay, so you said something about instrumentals bore people without a singer and they lose that's what I
interest,
hear. Because I love instrumental music. I love a cappella music. I love together. I love music. Okay, so I don't feel that way, and I'm not sure, I don't really know anyone that has ever said to me they didn't love instrumental. Because to me, the majority, I'm not saying there's a few out there, but the majority of people who love music love it all. Okay?
Exactly.
And, I want to share something with you guys. Hip hop and rap. Okay, what are your thoughts?
I think there's some good stuff out there. I particularly, there's some good artists out there that really write amazing stuff. A lot of it is programmed and stuff like that, but some of it I don't like.
Okay. You?
The only rap I know is hip hop, hip hop, don't
Right.
stop rock till the bang bang, up jump the boogie, the rhythm of the boogie the bee. That's it.
And what about you?
Well, as yourself, I'm the same way. I like all kinds of music. Hip hop music isn't my generation.
Right.
And I'm.
Or
you
mine.
know, everybody has their songs. But I do like Pitbull and MC Hammer.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a really touching story about this. So, many years ago, probably 2016, someone reached out to me on Facebook. This young African-American hip-hop artist from Trenton, New Jersey. His name was Randy Shank. It is his name, but he goes by Director 6 now, or 6 Director now, and he's down south, okay? He owns a piece of my heart. So he reached out and he said, Miss Jerry, I'm starting out, you know, I'm a hip-hop artist, blah, 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 blah. Would you please interview me? I would love to come live in studio. I live in Trenton. And I said, young man, can you keep it clean? He said, I promise I'll keep it clean. So he came here with a few artists. They kept it completely clean. It was awesome. But I said to him, I said, listen, I hate hip-hop and rap because of the profanity, because of the violence, why? Why is that necessary? And this is what he said to me. He said, Miss Jerry, everyone has a story to tell, and they need to tell it. And unfortunately for some of us, this is the only story we know.
That's deep.
It was deep, brought tears to my eyes. To this day, he's down south, he has a family. This young man, I love him. He'll reach out to me every once in a while and say, Miss Jerry, I'm still trying to keep it clean for you. Okay, I love it. So I love telling that story because I don't listen to it, and I won't if there's profanity. I just can't. But at least now I get it, because I truly didn't get it. And it makes me sad that that is someone's story.
Every
You know?
song is a story.
Every song is a story, right?
Basically, yeah.
So we're going to play instrumental next. Is that what we're
Yes,
doing? What we
yes.
just talked about, right?
Right.
Okay. Ruben, play the right one.
You're doing good, Ruben.
He's doing good. amazing, guys.
Yay.
I loved it. Okay?
Thank you.
Incredible.
And you can hear that chemistry,
No,
feel that chemistry,
yes,
right?
absolutely. What are you kidding me? There he is again, okay?
Whoopsie.
So listen, that was incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So I want to bring some humor to this. So what dating site did you guys find yourselves on?
Okay,
Okay, Cupid, yeah.
Were you on any others?
Oh, yeah, I was on Plenty of Fish.
Me too.
Um,
We missed each other there.
what was it, Adult Friend or something like that. What was it,
Match.com.
Match.com, yeah. Yeah, and I've been on those sites a long time. I was married before, but I'd say for the last 10 years, going back and forth. And I never really met anybody, that really fit. There's a couple people that came close and stuff like that. And when I met Jaynie, it was like a whole different
Immediate.
ball game. It was like,
It was immediate.
I mean, with the music, I think that's really what binds us too, is the music, and the passion that we both feel for music and stuff like that. And, to really, well, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, that, it was like, I was taking care of my brother for a long time, and she came into my life, and a lot of people would shy away from that because he was paralyzed from the neck down, and
She would never.
and I was having problems with the aides that would come in because I was working full time and I had to keep money coming in, and she offered to help and take care of my brother, and which was not an easy job to do, that I just said to myself, this is definitely the woman. She's willing to do this, sacrifice her time, and she was working too, and do this for me and my brother, and making us dinner and stuff like that. But also what she did was, because all I was doing was isolating myself in my bedroom, playing the keyboards, and she brought me out of that.
God brought us both out of it.
So with her ambition and drive, that's why we are here today, actually sitting here, because of her. Because I wouldn't do it. I would be sitting in my room and stuff like that. But, because that's what I admire her for. She's got that drive, she's got that ambition, and she says, we can do this. So that gives us the confidence to do that, And we all have a special part in the band that we're, like I do the sound and, program everything on the tracks and recordings. And Anthony brings in the vocals, the great guitar leads, and his wisdom in music. And Jaynie, she's got the marketing skills, a beautiful voice, of course, but she's also got marketing skills that are, helping the band out and stuff.
And you
like
lie
that.
a lot with the recordings. I mean, rumor has it, I don't know. So I want to tell you guys a funny story, okay? I don't think I've ever shared this publicly on one of my shows, but you brought up the dating site. So listen, this is absolutely hysterical. So my boyfriend passed away about 12 years ago, and we grew up together. He was my first little boyfriend in 7th grade. So he came back into my life, changed his life, and passed away. And about 2 years go by, and my daughter did something without asking my permission or telling me. She put me on a dating site. She put me on POF, Plenty of Fish. Okay? So I don't know this, and I'm playing poker. I owned a poker league. It was Ms. Night Owl Poker. I owned it for like 10 years in Mercer County. And I'm playing poker one night online, and somebody messages me through Facebook and says, and he was a realtor, a professional photo and everything, and he said, can we talk, please? You really need to listen to me. And I said, sure, because I could tell there was something weird about it that I knew he wanted to talk to me and I could trust him. He said, listen, you need to Skype with me right now. I need to tell you something very important. I saw you on a dating site. So I go, what? And he goes, yes. I said, okay. We get on Zoom together. He's in a suit. And he says to me, all right, and I know you don't know you're on this because he says, I was on a porn site, and I'll admit it, I'm a guy, yes, I was on a porn site. And he said, and your profile's on there. And he says, and the reason I know you don't know that is because the girl above you was naked and bending over, the girl below you was whatever, you're sitting there smiling in a red shirt. And he said, and this happens a lot. And I go, what?
Oh, my God.
So he says, listen to me, I'm going to stay on Skype with you. Thank God for this guy. He said, I'm going to stay on Skype with you. Here's the number to call and tell them to get you off now. So I'm panicking because I own a poker league. And can you imagine if these young guys saw that? Okay, listen. So I'm like, oh my God. So I call the number, and sure enough, the fine print when you go on these dating sites, and this is what I'm telling everyone, is they will put you all over and you don't even know it sometimes. So my daughter didn't do that. My daughter thought she was just putting me on POF. But the fine print allowed them to take my profile and put it on a porn site. So just letting you know, everybody, okay?
If you see me and Mark, or me or Mark.
Okay? So she
Not
blocked, she had to, I'm screaming
Oh,
on the
no.
phone. She's like, it's okay, I get it. I said, no, you don't get it. I have a poker league. I said, are you kidding me? I said, listen, so I'm in bars and restaurants with my poker every
freaking
night.
out. Oh, my
So she
gosh.
blocked me from being ever able to be put on any dating site, okay? Imagine that. Thank God for that guy.
I didn't know that it was possible for that to even
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, it's third-party stuff. That's
Yes.
right. That's the way it works.
So,
Wow.
so anyway, so that, I just had to share that. So that instrumental song I loved, okay?
Thank you.
So let me ask you guys this. So we have one more song, is it?
Yeah.
It's our cover for
Cover. So before we get into that,
because we had the time of our life here.
okay, so let me ask you this. I don't even know if you can answer this. Do you know about how many songs you guys have written, either together or separately or whatever?
Oh, wow.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
I mean, my lyrics with him, we have another 5 that are almost finished. But there's what happens with Mark is it's hard for me to. It's a little frustrating for me. We'll start working on a song, but Mark, like if it's not done in 3 days, Mark's on to the next song, and I'm still working out what we're.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'm like, are we going to finish that song? Yeah. But look, I can't listen to this. Doesn't this sound really good? Then next thing you know, another song. There's so many, I can't even tell you, that are not completed because we go here, then we go there, then we go back to it.
Yeah, that's my fault. My attention span is very limited sometimes, and I just I'm getting bored of this. I start doing something
And
else.
sometimes we'll go on the computer and he has a whole list of songs and he starts playing. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one. Why don't we finish it?
I am the opposite with that stuff. When it comes to my artwork or my writing, if I start a portrait, a photo, it's done. Okay? If I start a poem, it gets done.
Right.
I hear a lot of songwriters tell me this, and I'm like, I don't understand that.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Don't
Is
do
that
that.
more like you?
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, it's like it's not that we're finished with the song. We're never going to do it again. It's just sometimes you draw a blank.
Or sometimes you say that it
and
inspires you to do something else.
Yeah, something that triggers, and you go, oh wow, that's cool. I'm going to do that. But it's more like if you draw a blank and you can't think of anything else, it's better just to shelve it for a while and then go to something else, and then get back to
I
it
guess,
and then
I don't know.
finish it. But then again, sometimes with life, busy working and stuff, you forget, and then the song is on a computer, and one day you're listening to it and you go, wow, I did that, and you have a whole different perspective on the song too. So you say, wow, that is a good song. I'm going to finish it, so.
So, guys, I'm looking at the clock, and I'm saying it cannot possibly be that time.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm on my glasses.
it's 7:40.
Wow.
We have been on since 6:05.
Wow.
Time just
It
flew.
just flew.
I know.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
So did I.
So
So
did I.
let me ask you
And I
something.
had the time of my life.
Time of my life.
So why don't we do this then? Let's say what we want to say, then you'll talk about the song, and we'll close with that song.
Okay.
Ruben, we're not going to close with my theme song, okay? We'll close with that song. But before we do so, first of all, I want to say my thank yous to you guys, all right? So you're amazing, okay? Absolutely incredible with what you do. You're incredible with what you do, and so are you. And together, look at what you guys do as J.A.M, right? It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And God had his hand in this
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
in so many ways.
Put us together.
Your meeting, your, right? I
And
mean,
us, just,
think about it. And us too, right? I mean,
well,
think about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
they were kind of like not wanting to go to Garvey's because it was too far away and it was a short thing. And I was like, no, I think we should. And we met you, and then
Okay.
here we are.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad we did. I had
Yeah.
a blast.
We
there.
did,
I had a
okay.
lot of fun.
See? But the three of you meeting, like, that was craziness.
Yes, yeah.
So, all right. My last things I want to say is my thank yous to all three of you for honoring me here tonight. This was so amazing. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift. Okay, I love this. I will cherish it.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, and I had a blast. The music's awesome.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Okay,
Thanks for giving us the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah,
to
thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
definitely.
So-
Thank you for having us.
you're welcome. So why don't you each take the mic and tell everyone out there what you want them to know about what's going on with you guys. What's next? I don't want you to forget anything. You start.
Well, you can catch us on Facebook and see where we're playing and what we're into. And we're going to be, right now, we're working on some originals and we're coming up with new music. Because we like to, well, every time you come to see us, we don't want to play the same music.
Okay.
So we play different music,
Okay.
right, Jaynie?
That's right. We keep it fresh. A lot of people, every show that we do, somebody will ask us, "Hey, do you guys do XYZ?" No, but we'll put it in our repertoire. Come see us
And
again.
we do.
We'll play it for you.
So, okay, so now what would you like to say and any websites or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Well, as Anthony said, we have a Facebook page, Jams Sounds of 70s, 80s, 90s. But if you just put in Jam Sounds of, I think it just pops up. And also we have our email address, jamsounds@yahoo.com. So if you're interested in booking us for a party or a special event, that's the way to get in touch with us. And as Anthony said, we're working on originals. I'm in the process of going through BMI to get our
Licensing.
licensing, right?
Yes, okay, cool.
So we have a lot of things. I want to work with Ken on the Alzheimer's research or fundraising event. But that's basically what we've got. Do we have anything else that you can mention?
Well, I'd like to take this time to thank Ken and Linda because
Yeah, for sure.
if he didn't ask us to come to Garby's and open up for his show, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I'd like to thank them. And musicians now are so great nowadays. I mean, it's not so much a competition. I'm better than you, and everybody just like works together, and
We have so many friends that are out there, and we
Yeah.
want to support them. And they
yeah,
come and
we go to
support
their
us.
shows, they go to our shows, and I think that's really cool. As far as we are working on recording originals and stuff like that, and we. If you like Jaynie said that we do parties, venues, and we have a wide range of music, from the '60s all the way to present, and there's really nothing we can't learn. If you want a certain song, just look us up.
So now, before we play the last song, talk about it. And we're going to close with this incredible song, because I also had the time of my life, okay?
Aw.
Thanks.
Well, when we were trying to come up with duets, because we really want to be known as a dance band and our duets.
Exactly.
Anthony and I love to sing together. It's not just, all Jaynie's the vocalist and Anthony's doing backup. We bounce back and forth. There's many songs that Anthony takes lead to and I do backup, but we enjoy the most fun we have is when we're doing a duet together.
Our voices blend well together.
That was the first thing that we noticed when we got together. Is this going to work? And I think "Cruisin'" was the first song that we did together.
That's
And when
exactly
we heard
the first song. Yep.
when we heard the harmonies, we went, "Oh, this is going to work." So "Time of Our Life," that came up just a couple of weeks ago because we wanted to make it more dance,
Right.
and so that's how we came up with the "Time of Our Life," part of our repertoire.
So, guys, we're going to close out with the time of our life. I mean, who doesn't love that song, right? And, guys, please share this. Put it everywhere. Get the word out, okay? Because jams, baby. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us. It was fun.
All right, Ruben, take us out.
Now I had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you.
'Cause I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to
I've been waiting for so long. Now I finally found someone to stand by me.
Saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy.
Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise it secretly. So we take each other's hand as we seem to understand the urgency. Just remember,
You're the one thing
I can't get enough of.
So I tell you something.
This could be love because I had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Hey, baby.
With my body and soul, I want you more than you'll ever know.
So we'll just let it go. Don't be afraid to lose control. No.
Yes, I know what's on your mind when you say, stay with me tonight.
Stay with me and remember, you're the one thing
I can't get enough of.
So I tell you something. This could be love because I had the time of my life. No one ever felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you 'cause I had the time of my life, and I searched through every open door till I found the truth, and I owe it all to you. I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before.
Never felt
Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you.